This is Pedro Rodrigues Filho, the Brazilian Dexter. Pedro Rodrigues Filho, known as Pedrinho Matador, killer Petey, and the Brazilian Dexter, was a Brazilian serial killer, spree killer, vigilante, and YouTuber. He was notorious for targeting criminals, claiming to have killed over 100 individuals involved in activities like drug dealing, rape, and murder. Filho was born in 1954 with a skull injury caused by his father's violence towards his pregnant mother. He committed his first murder at 14, killing the deputy mayor who had fired his father and the security guard he believed was responsible for the theft that led to his father's dismissal. Filho's early life and initial murders, driven by a sense of revenge and distorted justice, set the stage for his future actions. Filho moved to Mogi das Cruzes, where he became involved in the criminal underworld, robbing drug dens and killing traffickers. He met and fell in love with Maria Aparecida Olimpia Botinha, who became pregnant but was subsequently murdered by a rival gang. This fueled Filho's vendetta, leading him to kill every member of the gang responsible. While imprisoned, Filho killed his own father, who was serving time for murdering Filho's mother. This act, fueled by a desire for revenge, further highlighted the violent cycle that permeated Filho's life. "I killed my father in prison. I was already in prison then. I've spent 42 years in prison. My father was in prison. I arranged a well-thought-out plan and I turned up at my father's cell," Filho said, according to the Daily Star. "I had promised revenge on my mother's coffin. I cut the tip of his heart off and chewed it, and I threw it on top of his body." Filho's first arrest occurred in 1973. He was sentenced to 126 years, but served 34 due to Brazilian law-limiting prison sentences at the time. During his incarceration, Filho continued his killing spree, claiming the lives of at least 47 inmates he deemed deserving of death. After his release in 2007, Filho briefly worked as a night watchman before being re-imprisoned in 2011 for threats, weapon possession, and involvement in riots. He was released again in 2018. Following his second release, Filho launched a YouTube channel, Pedrinho Matador. He used this platform to discuss crime, warn against gang violence, and discourage glorifying criminal activity. His channel, which garnered a substantial following, showcased a potential shift in Filho's perspective, suggesting a move away from his violent past. Filho was shot and killed in March 2023 outside a relative's home in São Paulo. The perpetrators remain unknown. Filho's life and crimes continue to fascinate and horrify. He remains a controversial figure, simultaneously labeled a cold-blooded killer and a vigilante who brought justice to criminals who evaded the law. Filho's life was marked by violence from the very beginning, shaping his worldview and justifying his actions. The blurred line between Filho's motives raises questions about vigilante justice and its potential to morph into unbridled violence. Filho's case highlights the complexities of dealing with individuals who operate outside the law, even when their targets are themselves criminals. Filho's YouTube channel and his anti-crime advocacy suggest a possible desire for redemption, but his brutal past casts a long shadow. Filho claimed to have begun experiencing homicidal urges at 13. He earned the nickname Pedrinho Matador, Killer Petey, from the Brazilian media. His story is believed to have inspired the character of Dexter Morgan, a fictional serial killer who targets other criminals in the book series and television show Dexter. Pedro Rodrigues Filho's story is a complex tapestry of violence, revenge, and a warped sense of justice. His actions raise numerous ethical and societal questions that continue to resonate. While his YouTube career hinted at a potential for change, his brutal death serves as a stark reminder of the darkness that consumed his life.